This might be the first time in forever that I am actually on time, and that is because I started stream early. um, Hi everyone. Hi. So yesterday was my birthday. I am 19. I don't feel it. Definitely don't feel it. The reason why I started to stream early, because I said 10:30, and it is 10:30, but I started stream at like 10:20, because I didn't know if it would work. I had everything set up, and I was like, oh, my computer is fucking chugging. Um, so I was like, is the model even going to work in these conditions? So far, Melody seems to be doing good. But I'm not using her when we go to the game. Um, so yeah, there's a lot to discuss, I suppose. Um, Point being, hi. While I was doing maintenance and waiting for time to actually be the right time, I have eaten 2/3 of a granola bar. Actually, more 3/4. There's only a little bit left, so I'll probably finish that off. It was really yummy. It's a small granola bar, and I have another one. I'm also partly almost done with my drink, so that means we get to open this drink, and I should not have shaken that. It is a can. It is specifically a 115 milligrams of natural caffeine, aka NyQuil in a can. for me, it is. I recently had some energy drinks, and they were 200 milligrams. And I was actively awake during one of those, and it was, I wrote down the effects as I was feeling them. So I showed that to, my mom, my big sister, and both of them were like, holy. My mom was like, I suppose caffeine is a drug, but I don't think they meant it like this. It's like, okay, hello. So, yeah. So now that's just been a fun thing. We went to the vitamin store, which is where I got these energy drinks. Not the 200 milligrams. The one I'm currently struggling to open. There it goes. Damn. Okay, that shit good. Okay, I was a little worried. It's pink lemonade, but I was like, it's gonna actually taste like pink lemonade, Because I was expecting artificial shit, but it's not that bad. Really not. That's pink lemonade. That's good. Anyway, went to the vitamin stores where we got the cans, and we saw some tablets of caffeine, so you can just take tablets of caffeine. Interesting concept. But I was like, oh look, sleepy pills. Nope. We did get not the pink lemonade, but we did also get the pink lemonade on sale. There was another flavor, peach and mango. They were on sale for 74 cents. So we grabbed quite a few of those. Happy birthday to me. I got sleepy juice. I love calling it that. And again, one of my favorites is just chloroforming my brain. Like, I love that so much, man. Yeah, we got that. So a lot has happened. That's why I've been away. We've been going out so much. It's been hard, man. My desk was a mess because so much was happening, and I did not have time to clean it up. Dude, I still technically don't have certain things cleaned up. Like, my makeup's kind of just loose in its bags right now. There's still bags around my room from yeah, basically it's a wreck. But most important things, my sister had a wedding. Crazy. No, but like I'm happy for her. I'm really, really happy for her. Genuinely happy. But I'm also like, fine. She's leaving. I say leaving. She's left. She lives in a different house now, and I'm not sure how to feel about that yet. It's interesting. But she's happy. I adore her. God, this is the part that really trips me up. Is not calling him her fiance anymore. He's her husband. Yeah, he's upgraded. So that's the part that's been getting me. But yeah, that happened. I was thinking about making videos of all the experiences, but yesterday I went out for my birthday. I went out with mom early in the afternoon, and then I went out with my big sister later, and her husband was with us. Fucking super happy for that. So I went and I got to talk with her husband. We got to chat, and I was telling him about the channel and the things I wanted to do. And he was like, "Have you ever thought of making a podcast?" Chat, I have, in fact, not thought about making a podcast. I'm a fucking dumbass. I talk so much that the fact that a podcast never occurred to me is insane. Like, that sounds like the thing I could do the most. Talking for a solid hour? Man. Having guests? Man. So, like, yeah. I'm ecstatic. I am going to start planning. I'm not exactly sure how to start a podcast, but we'll figure it out as we go. And the thing I'm most, about is that, I was thinking, this is my thought right now after my lengthy discussion with him about stuff like this, is I could start making podcast episodes, just talking about my day, talking about shit that's happened, shits and giggles, opinions and whatnot, and bring in guests to shoot the shit with whatever the expression is. And have, those be as long as they are, and have them upload every Wednesday. VODs will still go up Thursday and Friday. But VODs will now have hey, anyone who came from the podcast, hello, here's some backup information, extra content, as I play my silly little games, or make my silly little games, or hype up my friends. I swear, Dino, I will play your game eventually, and it's going to be me biased as fuck. There's a very obvious bug. Nah, man, it's a feature. No. Anyway. But yeah, I'll still be playing games. But it'll be nice to do an actual podcast. I guess in my head, podcasts always had to be done with somebody else. So the fact that it doesn't have to be done with someone else is like, well, damn, why didn't someone say this before? But I'll be fine. Anyway, plan that. And because it'd be just Wednesday, because posting many long videos in one row is not going to happen, because I need to record those and set them up. But that's why the VOD scheduling is super easy and the video scheduling isn't. But I did have a thought, and I did discuss it with him, of I like to bake and I like to cook. I don't like to cook. I'm learning how to cook. And so, why don't I do that? Why don't I start doing basically hand cam videos where I do stuff because I like doing stuff. There could be videos of me crocheting and talking about, whatever. Because that's the thing. I don't think I kind of run out of topics. I'm just a never ending hole. Especially right now. Because I'm taking a lower dosage of my medication now, chat, and I am full of energy. I mean, I'm exhausted because we've been going out so often, but I am a lot more hyper and a lot more like, woo. Even in like streams, how my personality is. That's what I'm like all day now. I'm usually not like that all day because the meds mellow me out quite a bit. So taking lower dosage, that's not there. But there are some downsides. I'm forgetting things a lot. I'm a lot more fidgety. That's for sure. For sure. But trying to see if I can deal with it. Adult stuff is why. It's like I would prefer if I could learn how to deal with it. But yeah, I got things to talk about. So yeah. And those would more focus on like, hey, what I'm doing, what I like, hell, even doing videos of drawing or coloring, and yeah, as sort of shorter videos, those can be a little more inconsistent, stuff, something like that, versus podcast episodes and VODs still being relatively the same. Okay, with all that out of the way, of me just talking about future plans, I actually need to record a podcast episode. And I need to figure out a name. That's the part that's getting me. What name do I go with? Because, like, look, I love my username. Because I had a plan. And then that plan didn't come to fruition. And I'm still okay with it because Sky still exists. And technically, we've gotten the number 3. They're not nymphs, but they can be. With Night, Melody, and Guinevere, Might as well. But I'm like, what should a podcast be called? And I'm like, Sky's Disastrous Life, a play on the anime of Saki. I said his name wrong, didn't I? Psyche. Disastrous Life. Freaking love that, man. Dude, that's such a good anime. And its premise is just awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And also it'd be good because, like, I talk a shit ton with the VODs, right? But having the podcast, people who don't want to watch the VODs can watch the podcast. Basically, it'd just be me, uninterrupted stories. The only one interrupting would be me, or guests. Which, like, the more I think about it, I'm really, like, down for guests. And, like, currently, who the fuck do I have as a guest? I guess Bass, or I don't know. Think I could convince Dino to join me, or Weave. Kidnap the two of them, come join my podcast. I need to make the thing I'm also most excited for is not having to make a ton of thumbnails anymore, because I can make one solid thumbnail for the podcast and that be the thumbnail for all of them. I just have to worry about names. And then we could just use Sky as the model because there wouldn't be anything in the background. It'd just be me. So yeah, I'm also trying to think of like if I had a guest, would they be like an interview style? But like I don't really think so. It's me. And I feel like I write down a couple of like main key points for the podcast. If it's a solo video, maybe it's focus on like, hey, shopping, things I've gotten, or wedding, or rent fairs. Talk about shit like that. And I think I'm gonna be a lot more open in those as well. As I kind of skirt around, or I talk more objectively when it's like, oh yeah, I got trauma. But like as I was thinking about it, and I was thinking forming a episode in my mind, and I was like, I would probably be more open to speaking about those experiences, in podcast form rather than short story or live. And like I love you guys so much, but I really struggle when there's people, listening to me hear something and their immediate reaction is, "Oh, that's so sad. Are you okay?" It's like, "Thank you. I appreciate it." But actively hearing it when I'm sharing it, I don't know. I know it's not just a me thing. I just don't know what exactly it is that makes me go, "Oh, no, please, to stop." But like I want to talk about some stuff as well of like my dad sends me letters. I want to talk about the letters. Want to talk about recently mom found a picture of me and my brothers from when we were really little. I want to talk about shit like that. I had a nightmare recently of my subconscious being a dickhead. So, I want to do that. And I'm really leaning into Sky's Disastrous Life as a podcast title. Name. But like if you guys have any suggestions, I'm here for it. Because like these intro bits to the VODs are always so long. So instead of having these intro bits, the intro bits to the VODs would be relatively shorter and more, hey guys, we're doing this today. And then during the gameplay or whatever we're doing, then I would talk more about, hey, this is this, stuff like that. Instead, the intros would be like, hi, we're here, this is this, goodbye. And all of the filler would be more for the podcast. It's probably still gonna do these intros, still gonna talk, but it'll have more in the place, because like with the VODs, I have to remind myself that hey, there's other things I'm supposed to be doing. Versus with a podcast, I just keep talking. I just keep going until my thought is that I want them at least 1 hour. With guests, I'm not sure if I should do that. I'm like, should I have guests be here for 1 hour? Oh my god, Chad, I could get my mom on as a guest. And my big sister. And her husband. maybe, have a family. Because it'd just be my model talking. And I could add little assets of like the guests on the table and hey guys, welcome, we have this person joining us, stuff like that. We have mother joining us today. I don't know. I'm still a little hesitant about mom because I still don't want to do a whole bunch of editing, so yeah. And obviously this would only happen if, they're okay with it. Like, I don't know if big sister and her husband would be okay with being guests. But, I'll ask them. Once it's more a little fleshed out more. So I feel like the first podcast episode should be like why I disappeared, what's been going on. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna eat my granola now. I will say, with more creative videos, like me crocheting or cooking or baking, I would edit those. Or I'd pay someone to edit. Yeah. I really like the idea, if you couldn't tell. But I suppose I should actually talk about what I'm doing for my birthday stream. And I'm also telling myself I don't have to do the minimum time I usually stream. Cause like it's my birthday stream. I can go to bed when I want to. I've currently flipped my sleep schedule, chat. I'm sleeping at night and awake in the day, but my mother is asleep during the morning and awake at night, which is so weird. Both of us are like, what the fuck has happened? We know what happened. Big sister's wedding. But yeah. Yeah. What the fuck is that? Okay, I had a thing on my laptop. I was a little concerned about it. Anyway. Shall we go on to the thing we're supposed to do today? Which is using a program called Twine. We are starting a dating sim game. And I'll explain more with the actual stuff. So, soup. By the way, because I don't want to explode my computer, which is very hot currently, I'm closing my model because it should take a lot to run. So hopefully this should be slightly better when doing it. And now we show you. All right. Probably like, what the fuck is this? This guy. So this is a Google Doc. I was doing some shit. But this is Twine. And this is the currently what it looks like. It's gonna change a little bit. I might keep this part. And if you can't see, this was a template made by this person. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. But I had her original template, the first one. So when she came out with the second one, I was like, hell yeah, thank you. And yeah. So, very helpful. I'm closing this to save some power. But this is a pamphlet she included with the template. So, you know, see, user guide. And that was just a test. It's very empty right now, if you can tell, because I can't do anything. We do have some notes here, but very little, because everything else is mostly in here. This is interesting, because this is the characters. There are 46 of them. And you can see the weird names, acronyms at the bottom. That is because they are, actually I think it says it here. Yes, okay. the gods and their followers, which is TGATF, the dumbass trio and friends, TDTAF, and the royals and allies, TRAA. So, that's what they're separated with. I know I had the exact number. This is basically to help track what's what when I start something, if it's done or not, stuff like that. Oop. Go up. I've not started any, and I have here, I'm still a little deciding if I want to make each route a week, where it's 7 days with 2 dates / hangouts minimum, or first date only. And the reason why this is a question is because, one, content wise, are we going full out, or two, some of these characters have some specific things to them. For example, there is, in my lovely spreadsheet that took an entire day, 2 days to completely fill out, the questionable romance. And some of these people are lovely. This is Marcy. And Marcy struggles with romance. This is Rosalie. Rosalie struggles with romance. They are different. Marcy struggles because Marcy doesn't believe she deserves to be loved. Very sad. It's kind of very important to her root. That's why it's under light angst. Rosalie does not feel romantic feelings. She's Cupio romantic. I forgot I made her Cupio, to be completely frank, but yeah. So today is mostly I'm just gonna work on it, do what I feel. I don't know if I'll actually get to any writing, because I completely forgot that I needed to start adding notes to these characters. As you can see, I started a little bit before stream to write some. Though I do want to show off is not you. Actually, it is you. This one. So there's different tags. Actually, I wrote down what the tags are, didn't I? Or not? Hold on. What do you mean or not? Oh, no, I didn't. There it is. So we have, here's them. This is to help color with the color coding. So we got only romance, only platonic, only romance and platonic, or both, sorry. Questionable romance and questionable platonic. Don't want to date you or be your friend, or have questionable feelings, unsure if they love you or not, sort of vibes. Don't want to date but are okay with being friends. Don't want to be friends but okay with dating. And I was surprised because I wrote this down as a precaution. As you can see, questionable romance doesn't have any color to it because it's not actually used in the spreadsheet. So I was surprised that this existed, and then I looked at the character and I was like, oh right, yeah, she would. As there is a character who is completely, totally okay with romance, but when you try to be her friend, she's like, what the fuck? What are you? And then questionable platonic, they do not actually want to be your friend. And questionable romance is just plain, they don't want to date you. Fuck off. And we have sweetness around, fluff, no angst at all, It is the sweetest of sweet. It is. I'm trying to think how to describe this. Fluff, all the sweetness. Shoujo manga vibes, You're not going to find sadness in this. Very tooth-rotting, sweet. Wholesome love. fluff, but with some sadness, but it's still soft. You're still together. You're still, you know, it's sweet. Some sadness is talked about, but it's not too heavy. It's like, hey, they got feelings about this, but it's not too bad. Strange but sweet. Personality is weird AF, but they're still wholesome in their own way. And yeah, their personality is like, what the fuck? But you're like, man, you're a weirdo, but you're my weirdo. Toxic everything. Nothing about this is good. There is no good ending when tagged with this. And there were several things tagged with this. Sky, why would you do that? Because I like tormenting my characters. And I am going to highlight some of the antagonists of my thing that don't actually get a lot of screen time because they're not current antagonists. They're older antagonists. World building. It's a thing. I sometimes do it. By the way, chat, I need to talk about, I did my nails. They're purple and they have a beautiful shimmer on them where it's a purple shimmer, but then when the light hits it, it's like blue. It looks so gorgeous. I keep getting distracted by it. Anyway, complete yanks. Lots of heavy topics happen / are talked about. Sweet awkwardness. Very shy when you first meet them, but warm up later on, which is different from this is why I had to change, because I originally had a few and then I had to keep adding tags because I was like, okay, well, this is a little more niche than that is. Like sweet awkwardness versus strange but sweet, because sweet awkwardness, they're not strange. Their personality isn't weird. They're just fucking normal, as what you define normal. They're confident in themselves. However, they're super shy when you meet them and slowly gain that confidence again. Versus the others where, like, for example, we have Brooklyn, would be under strange but sweet. And Brooklyn, like, she's a mad scientist. Her mother was a mad scientist, so she's a scientist. But she's also a tech whiz, and she, like, does not care. Like, you'll be like, hey, Brooklyn, I'm sad. And she'll be like, okay, if you're gonna cry, get out of my lab. I don't want your germs on my floor. If you're gonna stay, like, at least be useful. So, very different versus someone like Julian, I believe, is under the sweet awkwardness. And he is more like, oh, I've never, my first crush didn't work out. So I've never really been on a date before. I'm shy. You're so nice. Thank you. Till, meeting up later and he's like, hey, hi, honey. A little more flirty. So, yeah. Those are the differences. False sweetness, they pretend to be sweet but don't mean it. And by sweet, I mean, like, they pretend like they care. They're here for you. You can tell them anything. You, in fact, cannot tell them anything. I also want to point out that these tags will all be put in, like, a what's the word? Trigger warning sort of section. No. My loose plan is to have these put with the character introductions, what ones they're under, and then put a link to a trigger warning. Not a link, but have a thing where you can click on it and you can see the full trigger warning list. Because some people like going in blind, and that's okay. That's fine. But for the people who don't and want to know what's in the game, I got you, boo. Don't even worry about it. I fully intend to put trigger warning, especially with some of these characters being the way they are. And obviously I can't really determine some of the trigger warnings from, I have to write the actual thing first before I do such a thing. But yeah, yeah. we also have Strange Angst. You are the only one hurt. The other is indifferent or they don't care. This tag was specifically made because of... Ooh, where's the thing? There it is. These characters. These 6 characters really kind of... Yeah. Because these are the minor gods, Grimm, Ash, Daffodil, and Foxglove, and these are the creators of the universe. So, Anubis, you can see Anubis is counted with wholesome love, and Gia. They have stories. Because you might be saying, Sky, it's Gaia. No, it's Gia. And there's a reason it's Gia. It is said Gia for a reason. But Gaia is Greek. Mm-hmm. Anubis is Egyptian. Mm-hmm. So they're from... Nope. Whoop. These two are just... Okay, here... I'm really showing my colors here. I am a huge, like, stars person. Space, stars, the concept, all of it. I love it. I love it so much that, like, I didn't even realize I had done this. All of these gods are stardust. And to explain, Gia is basically the sun, and, like, Grimm would be a red dwarf star or a giant, a gas star. Or red star? I don't remember. Anyway, point being, in this analogy, these babies are not as powerful as those babies. And the reason why they are not at all their counterpart, what their names are, is because basically they don't have names. Their names cannot be spoken in any known language. That's my reason. I'm sticking to it. No, that's actually the reason they gave the main character. And then that's true. They don't come from any known thing. I hesitate to say planet because they are mostly space beings. So they're more accurately like aliens than gods. But basically, Gia was given Earth as a present. Basically told you can control, you can build whatever you want on it. You can, think about any simulation game where you can think about like Monopoly, stuff like that. Where you can just kind of do, or Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft's a better example, where it's just a giant sandbox where you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's basically why they gave Gia Earth. And Gia kind of, as religions were developing, and it's gonna sound weird, the story follows Earth's canonical timeline. It's just not set on Earth and is at the same time. Basically, Gia had created humans and watched humans grow and build religions, and she never fucking cared that they made religions. She never wished to reveal herself. It was more fun to see what the human mind could come up with. So she's kind of just taken names from all types of religions, and at the time of the story and in the dating sim, Gia is the name that she took. And since she took that name, the main character tells everyone not to call her Gaia, but Gia, because there's the distinction between the two. Because the main character is from mortal Earth. And this is where it's interesting. Basically, Gia, when creating, she made fantasy creatures, right? She made vampires, werewolves, witches, the like. And she sort of set them loose with humans. And now, what are humans known for doing when they see something they don't, know anything about? Fucking killing them. And so Gia was witnessing wars after wars and witnessing the humans destroy these creations she made. And pissed off, she said, fuck off. And made a parallel universe to it's not universe, parallel world to Earth. So there's different planes of existence. There's where the mortals live and the humans, and that timeline is like based on actual history, stuff like that. And then there's the immortal world, which is basically where our story takes place. It's mostly in called Gina. And Gina's my world. Gina, I love it. I love it so much. So yeah. So basically, also this made it easier on me because basically the map is just what's Earth's map. Amori's on Australia. I know that much. But no, it's a genuinely. It's easier to get a blank map of the world, for like school projects or something, and just fill it out with what my world actually has, because it's just parallel to that world. Yeah. But yeah, so that's Gia. And she chose Gia at the current moment because fuck it, she felt more motherly, more mother nature-ish. That's her reasoning. And by the way, I'm using she pronouns because that is her current form. Is a 16 feet, I believe, tall, beautiful woman. Slightly on the heavier side, and she's wearing a dress. She's very pretty, cascading, black hair. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, the pronouns you would first think to use is she. But they don't have genders. None of the gods have genders because again, they are stardust. And none of the I was gonna say. And none of them have genders or names or forms either. They are just stardust that can portray itself. It's like light. They can reflect this image to you, but they are not that image whatsoever. So yeah. And Anubis is, he chose Anubis because fucking Grimm, I think, actually told him about Anubis. He was like, damn, cool guy. He's kind of like me. Because to explain, these two are the main creators. Gia is all life and creation, but she has a negative outlook on it. Anubis is death and decay and, the passing of things. But he has a positive outlook on it. Because it's sort of a yin and yang thing of, all evil has some good in it and all good has some evil in it. That's what these two are embodying. And Gia's the one that you're most going to get, like, her route, I believe, is like, damn. Anubis is a little more sweet because he's a little more aware of everything. He knows what the others are like, but he's more aware, he more cares about your feelings, while Gia's like, you're sad because I don't give a fuck. Really. And I guess I should also clarify, is Gia made the immortal world, but saw that the immortals were basically the same as the humans, just with powers, and said, fuck it, I refuse to touch these two anymore. And now is off, and in space she created her own sort of glass greenhouse sort of thing. I say greenhouse. It is a greenhouse because it's made out of all windows, or yeah, it's all windows. But it's more of a mansion. And basically anytime she finds a favorite, she'll put them in there when they've past instead of letting Anubis do the reincarnation process or the spirit process. Because there are spirits, and then there's reincarnation, and then there's you suck, so you get to sit here for all eternity. And then there's you are so good, nothing. You probably got reincarnated. I say evil gets split somewhere else, but they really don't. They're just reincarnated, to be honest. Everyone's reincarnated. Doesn't matter who you were in life. It's like, oh, but if you're really good, maybe you'll get to go to the glass mansion. No. No. That's reserved for who Gia finds entertaining. Does not matter what you were like. So, yeah. Gia is me as a creator, to be honest. Gia is basically everything that I feel when creating my characters in my world. Basically, fuck all this, and let me focus on my favorites. Who needs anyone else? Yeah, and then Anubis is cleaning up. And then got those four, which do not care about your feelings whatsoever. Grim at least will pretend that he cares. That they care. Sorry. That they care. But none of them do. And again, no genders, no actual forms or anything from these three or four. These four are loosely based on the four horsemen of the apocalypse. They take nothing from Christianity. They take nothing from the actual legend. They don't even take design wise. It is in the concept alone. Because Grim is death, right? The horse of death. And that's why his name is Grim. I actually wrote down. Oh, but they're not here. Are they here? Would it be here? Trying to think. No, it'd be in this other program I have. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's see if it loads, chat. You can do that, I suppose. I didn't want to do that, but I guess you can. It's like, hey, you closed this document that you were finished with. Can we recover it? It's like, I suppose. You don't need to. It's fine the way it is. I swear to you, it is. The minor gods. Here we go. Let's talk a little bit. Okay. So, let me... Because I can't say chat at all if I'm... Got this full screen. Here you go. This is... I'm not going to put it on the screen. Maybe. Because... Well, let's see. I don't know if it would capture is the problem. What about you? Did you capture? Come on. Come on. That's a no, chat. That's a no. It very much is not captured, maybe. Maybe I gotta do this. Oh. I hit the wrong thing. Nope. Nope, that's a nope. That's not capturing. Okay, well. By the way, this that I have is to help writing, and if we get to writing, which we might not. Okay, yeah, so I see you. Now what if I go here? Now what if I... No, well... Oh, there we go, chat. It did work. Okay, so... Let's go all the way up. Okay. These are the minor gods. All gods could only use their powers via their followers. They were nerfed due to several near world-ending events. While their followers still exist, they don't follow the rituals they used to. All their followers have lost features from the past during the evolution process. And so they are the humanoid crows. They lost their talons and claws. This is my own original character, and Afiro Fabulo, I believe is how you say that. It is Latin, I believe, and it means something to the effect of to tell stories or storyteller. Basically. I will explain more about this as we go on, because we have several. I think we have all three. We have all three known creatures of this in our lineup. So, they will be talked about. But they lost their antlers. The humanoids lost their ability to produce stardust, and the demons lost their large bat-like wings. I will explain. Well, I think their thing is thing. But first of all, we have Daffodil. Conquest, named by Anubis. Very nosy personality. Likes to stir the pot. Demons are its followers. Hates angels due to their false worship of her. By the way, that's her pronouns, is her, it. And we love it for it. I wanted to challenge myself to use more pronouns that aren't typically used, because I want to, get used to saying more pronouns personally, because I want to respect people's pronouns, So yeah, that's why it's her, it. But yeah, this to explain. Demons are Daffodil's followers. But Daffodil lent some of her power to, which is mental manipulation, to a demon, and that demon used it to help an angel get onto the throne. And so the angels all count Daffodil as their goddess for it, and that's the main religion of Amori. is basically worship to Daffodil, and Daffodil's like, you fuckers, you're not. I can't do shit with you. I can't actually use my power through you. Fuck. Where are the demons? Hold on. But yeah, played a part in getting the Saho family on the throne. Those are the angels, sort of. They're not angelic by any means. Power is mental manipulation used on many at once. And here's power listing fandom. Look, fandom.com sucks. But, the wiki sucks. I'll admit that. However, I don't know if there's any other, wiki that shows every single power in the world. Known power in sci-fi movies, the like. So, yeah. I'm using it for the power and the powers alone. So, yeah, this links to what I'm talking about, and gives a little more information. Her appearance is rosy pink skin, and if some of this sounds unrealistic, it's supposed to be. They're fucking gods. Rosy pink skin, curly blonde hair, and a short bob style. Ocean blue eyes, large soft pink bow in the back of its hair. Tall light brown boots that tie up in the back. Wears a sterling silver cuff bracelet with a large turquoise stone in the middle, flanked by 2 silver thunderbirds, which they stand for glory and victory and power. And Daffodil is conquest, so there's that. And to explain, all of these have all but one are responsible for the near world-ending events. Daffodil's near world-ending event was that she used her mass manipulation, basically, and A third of the population of the immortal world was worshiping her. And they were like, no, 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 no. Run that back. You can't do that. But they all adore me. No. Oh, so that was her near world ending event. And the Thunderbirds are Native American. A lot of research went into it. And this is given to her by Gia because it's talked about a bit that Gia has a lot of respect for different cultures, different religions, different everything. So all of the minor gods got certain things from different cultures that represent a little bit of who they are. So yeah, for Daffodil, it is the Thunderbirds. For Ash, who is War, he was named by Gia, chose to greet his followers as Stardust, which gave him the title of Celestial Beings. There are no celestial beings. It is just Ash. Humanoids are his followers. And humanoids are kind of what they sound like. They are very much human-like, but have some aspect to them that are not human. For example, for a long time, it was the fact they could produce stardust. For now, it is the fact they still have some powers. For example, Brooklyn is a humanoid, and she has the power of levitation. So, yeah. And this is why humanoids had powers, is he had the ability to gift any powers to his followers. And his was that he went a little too crazy with it and gave a whole bunch of people powers. And they proceeded to try and go on a rampage and use those powers against everyone who wasn't a humanoid. And Ash likes starting wars. I mean, he's war. I don't know what people are expecting. So yeah. So he has sepia brown skin, dark auburn coils / kinky for a hair worn in a man bun. I have actual pictures to the minor gods appearances that I had to go and hunt down just to have a thing. I don't know if I'm gonna like share that or if I'm going to commission artists to draw them. He has amber eyes, dark navy cloak with burgundy lining, 2 gold helm of awe buttons, and I believe the helm of awe is given to warriors. Yeah, that's what I remember off the top of my head, is that they're given to warriors. And it connects the cape with the gold chain. And gold, I believe, is like means spiritual. So, I thought it fit the whole god thing. It was a gift from Gia. Navy waistcoat over a light purple button up. Dark brown chinos, black socks, and brown leather Oxfords. And when I was looking up these pictures, god damn, were all of these so expensive. Minus the socks, they were $16. Still a lot. But compared to the others, fucking what? I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. Do I have anything else to say about Ash? I don't know. Ash is a little more sweeter, and he genuinely just, he doesn't want to be too bad. He trying his best. He understands. He doesn't hate creatures. He's not like Daffodil, who wants to stir up trouble, and he's not like Famine, who doesn't care enough, and that's why she causes trouble. So, he's a lesser evil compared to Daffodil and Foxglove. So let's talk about Foxglove. Okay, so Foxglove / Thesia. That's not her name. It will be explained who Thesia is in a second. But she's based off of Famine. She was named by Anubis. Her power is infinite digestive system, meaning she can eat anything. Is always starved for things, anything. Wishes to consume until there's nothing left. Her lover, Thesia, died via poisoning. The others, Daffodil, suggested she take Thesia's body since it was the final thing she had consumed. She's still in Thesia's body because she hasn't consumed all of her yet, in process of eating Thesia's memories and being. Once finished, she'll abandon Thesia's body. Doesn't care about anything but her hunger. And actually, we're going to reopen a different thing. Because I actually think I changed that a little bit. That's what Foxglove sees it as, okay? But, to explain a little more is that, here we go. Eventually, though, Thesia's luck ran... This is Thesia's entire story, but I'm not going to read it because spoilers. Thesia's luck ran out, and she was poisoned. Daffodil mentioned to Foxglove, who, indifferent about the loss, that Thesia's body was the final thing she hadn't eaten. To prevent such a horrific end, Grimm made a deal with Foxglove that she'd have to spend 1 year in Thesia's body before she could eat it. He wished for Thesia's spirit to not get eaten by mistake with her body. A year gives the spirit enough time to leave and have no attachments to the living realm. So, bored, Foxglove agreed, and now resides in Thesia's body. And, yeah, let's explain Thesia. No, we'll explain Thesia when we get to her thing. So this is what Foxglove sees it as. That's the actual story. But finds individual mortals and immortals boring, often sleepy and takes long naps. 85% of the time she's asleep. Hungry when she wakes, has tetanum lucidum. I don't know how to say that. But reflective light in her eyes, like cats and dogs and raccoons. A lot of animals have it. Basically she has that too, because she's mostly awake at night, so the few times she's gotta see, you know. The original creature is her followers. This is one of them. It's important that it's highlighted, but I'm not going to tell you why. Eats information but does not retain it. Can taste flavors and emotions of information, but she cannot recall that information. More information she eats, the more hungry she gets. Once almost ate an entire continent, she was cuffed to her cave for a few years as a punishment. Yeah, so basically, she was like, ooh, this information juicy as hell. And using one of her follows, whereas almost ate an entire continent, and they were like, no. No, you can't do that. And she was like, why not? And it's like, because that's called genocide. Let's not do that. So, yeah. And yeah, she has handcuffs, or not handcuffs, but cuffs on her. Appearance, currently Thesia, already explained a little bit of that. But this is her appearance with the other minor gods, her current appearance. Ombre, very long, straight hair, very long, it's wild and floats around her. Dark purple to very light purple, past her knees length. No hairstyle, wild, floating around her, I just said that. Kayaki beige skin, and the reason why I specifically used kayaki is because she looks sickly, very sickly. Dark brown eyes, wears a braided leather bracelet, maroon, with a triquetara charm, a gift from Gia. What is the meaning of that? I know there's a specific meaning that's like related to Foxglove, and it's also a haha nod to the fact that she's one of the 4 horsemen, and that specific charm, while from Celtic culture, has also been used in Christianity to represent the Holy Sun, and the others. I know there's like main 3. I'm not Christian, if you couldn't tell. Whoops. A light blue past the knee nightgown, antlers that are twisted and grow from her head, black cuffs and broken iron chains on her ankles. Thesia has a shoulder-length, wavy black hair, half up, half down style, dark green eyes, fawn white skin, simple daisy earrings, gift from her late mother, a silver chain with a foxglove charm on it, usually in mourning clothes, long black modest dresses, it's supposed to be dresses, with a simple black cardigan, black lace-up heels. And let's read Thesia's story, I suppose. Alright. Why would Thesia make a deal with a god, and why was she poisoned? Well, Thesia was born in a cult. The cult worships Foxglove. Thesia found out she was in a furrow fabulo. So she's one of Foxglove's special followers. The cult saw her as the chosen one. They did not tell her what her powers were. She found out at the age of 17 when she saw a memory of one of the members. It was him playing with his child. He listened to her retell the story, and his mind melted in front of her. Because that is the power of those creatures, is that they can take memories, and if that original person whose memory it is hears it again, basically they die in a horrific way of your brain melts. So yeah, Thesia freaked out and realized how screwed her powers were. With not many choices, she started to pray to Foxglove because she didn't really know other gods existed. Foxglove was the only god she knows. Instead of offering her praises or sacrifices, which the cults were doing and tried to take Thesia to, she offered information about the cult. Foxglove took the deal, a light snack for her. Thesia asked for her sight to be taken away in exchange. Thesia prepared by buying black clothes in bulk, partly to make it easier for herself to dress and also mourn her sight. And to explain why she wants her sight taken away is because these creatures see the memories of others. If they can't see the memory, they can't retell it. So it at least prevents that aspect of it. Well, they'll just hear the audio, and audio's not gonna, fucking melt people's brains. There are limits. She also got a small foxglove necklace as a the plant as a thank you to the goddess. Foxglove removed her sight, and Thesia felt free. Unfortunately, the cult members found out and turned on her, cursing the chosen one who gave up her gift. She spent a good chunk of time on the run. Foxglove still communicated with her as Thesia was going places, allowed Foxglove to eat more information. The other gods saw this and started the rumor. The other gods, Daffodil, saw this and started the rumor that Foxglove was having a lover. Eventually, though, Thesia's luck ran out and she was poisoned. So yeah, that's Thesia's story. But yeah. So now Foxglove is in Thesia's body. It's very interesting, very interesting. Grim, my boy. Not a boy. My non-binary. Anyway. Works for Anubis to collect souls. Power is world manipulation, specifically blurs the veil between the different realms. So I talked about the immortal and the mortal realm. Yeah, so Grim can blur that. Grim can very much it's very interesting. I guess a good way to explain it is imagine a movie where it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think, has a good picture of this. Oh no, I've actually seen that movie in years. I need to rewatch it. It's really good from what I vaguely remember. But anyway, point being, it's like a movie in black and white, and there's a line, and the character comes up to it, and the other side is in color. And when they step over, it's in color. When they step back, it's in black and white. It's that scene of both standing next to each other. That's what Grim can do. He can cause that to happen. And he hasn't because he's smart. So he's the only one that did not have a world-ending catastrophe happen. Because he was like, no. He respects Anubis too much to do such a thing. And he was also named by Gia. Oh, I wrote that down. Named by Gia. Took the image of a Grim Reaper after learning what it was. goodness. What humans thought of them. Grimm tends to stay away from both worlds. Both worlds. They only enter to either break up the other minor gods or fulfill a mission. Crows are their followers, Joanna and Emil. Appearance, long white dreadlocks, hair, with silver rings, ponytail, rich black skin, deep onyx eyes, wears a hooded black cape over charcoal black trousers and a gray button-up shirt. Their choice of weapon is a silver dagger with an Ouroboros, which is an Egyptian symbol that stands for rebirth. Which, given that is Grimm's job, is the whole reincarnation, leading them to the reincarnation. Yeah, fit him. On the hilt sits in their dark leather leg holster, get from Gia, the dagger itself. Several earrings. Okay, doing Grimm's earrings made me want to get some of these myself, to be honest. Because there's a standard low, which I have, where Grimm has silver skulls that drop into a teardrop onyx. Helix, I kind of want, because some of those look so cool, man. A small silver bat with a chain connecting to a high-low. And I don't want industrial. I don't want that. Silver barbed with a silver snake detail curled around it. High lobe, 2 simple black loops with a chain connected to the helix. Black military boots. Their skeleton can be seen. Has fleshy bits and dark bloody. Yeah. So these are supposed to be more Eldritch horror than cartoony, if that makes sense. But yeah, I want a high lobe, maybe 2 high lobe earring piercings and a helix, because I'm debating too, because I'm like, do I want a helix on one ear and just leave the other one fine, or do I want to have both? Who knows? They take a long time to heal though, and I'm still not great with needles. Anyway, those are them. This is not at all what this stream was supposed to be. But here we are. Let me go back to here. I don't know, I like talking about this though, you know. And I'll work on it more on stream, and also okay. Off a stream. I had to check my cushion. Actually, my cushion is working really well. Did I say that at the beginning? I got a cushion from the store for my chair because I was sitting on 2 blankets. And I was like, I need an actual, cushion. And so I finally got one, and it is super nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Because it fits my chair perfectly, but I left the tag on because I was like, the real test of time is the, stream itself. Like, so far, it's really nice because it's slightly smaller than my chair, so it fits in perfectly. But it also means that in my weird sitting positions, it's not too bad. It also has ties, so it's tied to my chair, so it's not, I don't have to worry about it slipping at all. Which is what I was checking, is because I have the back ties are too short, because they're for a standard chair, so I have them tied with a blue ribbon between the 2. And I was like, it's a dark ribbon, and my chair is a dark brown, so I didn't see it, and I was like, where the fuck did the ribbon go? It's still there. It's just hard to see. Oh yeah. Yeah, let me take a drink. Alright. Readjusting a little bit. Okay. I had the thought of like, what if I was on mute? How awkward that would that be? So I had to check. Okay. Here we go. Move you guys on the little stand so I can actually do stuff. What should I do? Because there's stuff I can do, and there's like things that can be done right now, but I'm like, I'm also tired, so I don't want to do that stuff. So I feel like I should just start doing what I was doing before the stream, because I have a clear idea of what I was doing. Because we're actually working on the thing, chat. Who would have guessed? Let's go down here. Let's start from the bottom. And I could talk a little bit about these characters and, you know, why I'm making this. This game is being made because I found a notebook that had a little bit I had written down for this game. And I was like, damn, I should actually make this because it's a good way to introduce people to my world and my characters, and it's a good way to highlight some characters that don't get a lot of screen time in the main story. So here we are. Jason, he is actually Soji's husband, but they have a very, me and my wife saw you from across the bar and want to know if we could buy you a drink vibe in this, because it is a dating sim, so you get to date them, and you also get to, you know, be friends if you want. He is a goblin, which is pretty surprising because Soji is a angel, and specifically where they're from, which is Imori. That's kind of unheard of. So yeah, Soji does not care. She loves her husband, and Jason loves her back just as much. He's a chill dude, very chill. This is mostly like little notes about them. Loves his wife, honestly. That should be written down. Jason, you don't got much to you, buddy. You were all about your wife and nothing else. I guess he likes to eat. Like, nah, he's just same as everyone else, to be honest. I think that's all. Can you tell he's such a minor character? He shows up once. And even then, that's not even in the main story, because that's a side scene with a specific character. Look, I love Jason, but I love Soji too. She's also not shown. But she is, like I said, an angel. Her father is the head of the church. So he's the equivalent of like the Pope. To Amori, because Amori is a town is the right word. Is a town that is surrounded by a force field. It's technically what it is. It's a force field that blocks out everything around them, and because of that, it's, you know, everyone knows everyone, but also problems. But yeah, so that's why her father's sort of the equivalent of Pope, because they don't got anywhere else. They don't have much contact with outside of the force field, just because they're royalty and whatnot. And where they are plays a big part. So yeah, loves her husband. Cares for her little sister. Because she does have a little sister who is also in this. Anything else about her that needs to be said? Oh, she's sassy. She's petty as hell. Sassy and petty. As that one, like, scene, she specifically, like, tells the character, oh, I need to go to my husband. because she knows it'll piss the character who's very much set on society and the rules of society and decorum. So an angel being married to a goblin being very taboo. Um, is why Soji's like, oh, look at my husband to her, because she does not like her. She's very petty. We love Soji. We stand Soji. She's probably going to take over the church. Her or Jazz, who is her little sister. I haven't actually decided because their father's very much alive and in a loving, happy relationship with their other father. So yeah, Miriam. She is a Nikojin. Nikojin. That is the right word. I was like, there's a specific word, but I keep calling them cat people, and that's not the right word. That sounds weird. She's a Nikojin and single mother. She did not birth her daughter. If you can't, this is her daughter, Katrina. She kind of found Katrina in a cardboard box and was like, oh, well, I guess she's mine now. And raised her from there. But I have to discuss, this family is hilarious because Miriam's pastime is she makes bombs. That's literally her pastime. And that got passed to her daughter. However, Miriam also has a side hobby that her daughter's less fond of, it didn't go down the genes, that she takes care of poisonous plants and has made poison from them before. I misspelled plants. Damn. We're really seeing how dyslexic I am, I suppose. She's if anyone was wondering, she is definitely under the strange but sweet category. What else? She only likes men, which is very important because there is a lesbian that has a crush on her, and that lesbian's like, damn, I'm not allowed to be lesbian, but I really like her, and did end up confessing to her, and Miriam was like, sorry, I can't feel the same. I've never thought of dating a woman, and I don't feel comfortable dating a woman. I apologize. And lesbian was over here like, girl, you're fucking fine. Shut up. You're still my bestie, and I'd actually rather us be besties than mess it up, I don't want to hurt you. I have a fucked up life as it is. You're fine. I love I just wrote likes man. Just wrote man. Likes men. Nope. But yeah, so it is kind of important. It is stated in the main story that Miriam is straight. But yeah, those two stay good friends. However, weirdly enough, people think Miriam, not weirdly, there's a reason. People think Miriam is the queen's lover, her mistress, and Katrina's their daughter. It's Alana. Alana's the trouble. Alana is one of the queen's many children's children. One of her grandbabies, basically, and Alana makes assumptions that she should not be making. And that's one of them. When the two are, in fact, not at all, and Katrina is not a love child. Katrina was just kind of abandoned on the doorstep. It's very funny though. She's very caring as well. So that's gonna be the last one. Katrina, talked a little bit about her, but she is also a Nikojin. She also makes bombs like her mother. Family business, oh right, I should actually put down that they are both maids of the castle. I guess maids to royal family is a good thing. It is kind of important that they're there. not important that they're there. Basically, they have benefits and are allowed to leave anytime they want, but there's a certain reason. They are mates and have been for all these years. Let's get discussed a little bit more, and it will be discussed more. These are just kind of base notes to hit for the routes. Katrina knows what D&D is, and she is a dungeon master. Dungeon... I misspelled that. Dungeon master, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, she was kind of taught by the people from the mortal realm, like, what D&D was, and she was like, damn, really? Hell yeah. She dislikes Alana. Kind of important. I mean, disliking a princess, you face a lot of trouble with that, especially when you're the maid of said princess. Yeah, it's kind of important that she dislikes her. She dislikes her, to put this into a little perspective. Katrina calls Alana Lonnie, because that would be Alana's nickname. But Alana doesn't like going by nicknames and prefers going by her title. So Katrina purposely does it as a fuck you to her for that reason. So from an outsider's perspective, damn, that maid and Princess Alana are really close because she calls her Alana. From an insider's perspective, damn, Katrina, you are risking your job every time you say that. I know it's behind her back, but still. Oh, she's dating some, yeah. And then we get to the actual royal family, which are the Sahos. And Selena is an elf, which is a shock, because the rest of the family, you're going to see a whole bunch of angels just going down the list. And both her dads died. Both her dads are dead. Well, I guess currently one of her dads are alive because they're on the list of romanceable characters, but in the canonical timeline, both her dads are dead. Rebellious, I suppose. She's like a teen, so, rebellious is kind of normal. Likes to make trouble. Also sounds more teenish, but in this way, I mean that she showed up and basically was like, Your Majesty, the Queen, I am your granddaughter. And the Queen was like, hell yeah, what if I named you as the one to take the throne when I kick the bucket? And Celine was like, fuck yeah, let's go and brag about that to other people. Can you tell the Queen was kind of done and pissed off with her family at this point? Yeah, Miranda did not give a fuck. I guess I should write dating a maid. Dating Katrina. They're a very cute couple, I swear. What else does Selena have? She just does not care. Does not care. Yeah, very carefree. I guess I would go with does not care. But let me rewrite that to carefree. Yeah. There's supposed to be a space here. There is. There we go. What else does Selena have to her? I mean, a lot, but like... yeah. She's technically a half-elf, but easier to put elf down. Because it's not like she's half angel, she's just half elf. She got no angel part to her. Christine is an angel. She struggles with emotions. Little bro was her life. trying to be normal. I should probably put that in quotes. The reason why she's trying to be normal is because several reasons, but her nickname is General because she was part of the sort of army. Yep, the military of the royal family, and led them, honestly. And you know, our little brother's last words to her was like, "Hey, you know, live freely." And she was like, "Okay, I will try. I don't know how to do that though." So she's very strict. She's also insane, but there are reasons she's insane. Try not to spoil too much. That's why you will get spoiled if you're watching me like do this, because yeah. But Alana is next. Alana is an angel, and she is no. No. She's by the books. By the books is a good way to say that. She's a lesbian. That's kind of important. Lesbian. Why do I feel like I misspelled this? Anyway, I'll figure it out. What if I just wrote Les? She's a Les. Leave me alone, chat. So she's by the books. She's manipulative. No, she doesn't really use manipulative tactics. Not afraid to throw someone under the bus. What else is she like? There's a lot that she does. But like, to me, it plays more into the by the books than anything else. Doesn't like flowers. Hates flowers. She does actually do that. She doesn't tell anyone she hates flowers, but she does. Doesn't know her own brother. Doesn't know much about Raziel, which is kind of sucky because they're twins. Which I'm also gonna write down. I mean, I know this because I know this by heart, but still. Raziel, he is an angel. Who would have guessed? He is a flirt. He cares so much about Alana. So I also have to write he is twin. Trying to think what else to say about Raziel. Because flirt kind of encompasses a lot of it. A bully. What's the word? Intuition. Intuition is very good. Because he's able to figure out certain things by the way people act and what they say. So, there's that. Anyway, the other set of twins. Hadril, twin of Hanel, raised Raziel. Sad man. Pathetic. Is that spelled wrong? I can't tell. Anyway, I mean, those are my honest thoughts about him. Is like he's a sad man and he's pathetic and he's a coward. Would do anything for his sister. now, the other side is and she gets the bitch tag. Cause she is manipulative. Okay, I just misspell that. Manipulative and mother to Raziel and Alana. Raised Alana, not Raziel, because she gave Raziel to Hadril to raise, because she's a bitch. Does not care for anyone. Like, she does not even care about Hadril. He's he is a pawn for her to use. That is it. Yeah, that's it. Eliza, who is Eliza a girl name? I want your guys' opinion. Cause to me, Eliza is a neutral name, and Eliza here is a boy. But I was talking with my mom, and mom was like, "No, that's a girl's name." And I was like, "Is it really?" Anyway, Eliza. She is an angel. Oh, I forgot to put. Both of these two are angels. I need to put their species so I don't, like, forget. Angels. So, Eliza is an angel. Lives with his mother. This is important. You'll see in a second. Hates the Saho family. Finds Raziel sad. Finds Alana terrifying. Scary. He thinks Selena is awesome. Stays away from everything. I guess he had a minor crush that I can put in. Had a minor crush on Emil. Anything else? Ooh, usually hates wine. I actually wrote that for him. But, he likes fruity stuff. Likes fruity drinks. So yeah. Those are him. Lavana! She is an angel. And she is the ex-wife of Eric. And she is Eliza's mother. And she is awesome. Actually, write it down. Awesome. I mean, to be fair, she had the guts to divorce a prince. So, like, headstrong. For sure. She's also sweet, you know, once you get to know her. I love Lavana so much. Loves books. Loves romance books specifically. Still attends Soho family meetings to spite her husband. Ex-husband, technically. Her ex-husband. Husbando. No. Queen Miranda's like totally down for it too. She's like, yeah, you can get back at him. I don't care. I know he's my son, but I don't care. Anything else? Nope. Let's do Eric. Let me check. Yep, okay. Eric. He's an angel. Father of Eliza. I'm not gonna put that he's the ex because he doesn't care. Blew up a village. He did this with complete seriousness. And then killed his brother in that. Oh, his brother is not here, actually. Oh, I thought I wrote... Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes total sense. It blew up a village, and, yeah. Would do anything for his mother's approval. Approval. There it is. Okay. Does not care for the average person. Thinks demons are the worst. There's so much. This is a bad man. This is a bad man. But this man is even worse. He is an angel, mirror, father of Estella and Lee. Does not take no for an answer. Will blackmail you. Has a gambling and a drinking problem. Banished from the Saho family, and then he died and nobody cared. Saho family castle, technically. Oh, wife hates him, technically. Anyway, so he's bad, but then he's bad because he learned from this man. And he was banished. He's an angel as well. Banished from Amori. Slept with sister's husband. Whore. That feels an insult to whores, to be honest. Fuckboy, there we go, that's a better word. Fuckboy. Also gambles. Gambling. It's not also gambles, it's like it's a gambling problem. Oh, killed little sister. He did that. Yeah, anyway, this guy's a dickhead. Which is why he's not even allowed to take the Saho family name. He has to take their one of their father's maiden names. Because he just sucked. Miranda, angel. Closeted les. Was forced to marry a man. Yeah, that's how you spell that. Loved marry him at one point. Or I guess had a crush on. Queen. Does not care. Tired. like I am right now. What else does she have to her? Hates most of her kids. Loves most of her grandkids. Actually, I need to put something on Alana. You know, paperwork fiend. Basically, why the castle is running. Basically, how the castle is running. Yeah. Because Miranda gave up, and Alana came and swooped in, took all the work from her. Yeah. Stop working. Anything else? I suppose we could add a little fun detail. She poisoned her husband. But did she poison him or shoot him? Technically, James is dead because she poisoned James. No, she killed her husband. I believe she shot him. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, she shot him because Miriam poisoned him, and Miranda didn't know and was like, "Miriam, what the fuck?" And Miriam was like, "We should have coordinated this better. That's okay." 2 other people also attempted shit, because he was also set on fire and stabbed. They're like, "Well, damn, we're all good then." To be fair, if anyone's like, "Oh, her poor husband," no, he was a dickhead. If you couldn't tell with James. Yeah, so that's them, I suppose. And them. Getting tired. Here we go. So here's a little bit of what I did. Very caring but unsure of himself. Yep. Created by... Created by Brooklyn. Julian is an angel, and he had a crush. Requited is kind of important. Quieted crush on Angel. Julian is a guard. Bestie to Christina. Christine, not Christina. I guess used to work with Christine. Used to work with Christine. Guards the throne room. Because that's literally his job. Trying to think. What else did got Julian? Very sweet. No, I'm gonna write the right word. Himbo energy. Yeah. Marcy, she is the URFEO. Fabulo. Tubello. Why is it? Oh. I was like, what is it doing? That's her last name. Let me not have that. So she's that. No pupils. She has pure white eyes. Pure white eyes. Which makes people think she's blind, but she can see. ADHD. Trans woman. Likes women. What else? What else? What else? Who does Marcy have? She has a lot. Floating scrolls. Because she can write down what she sees. Looks like dad. Like dad. Mother sucks. What else, Marcy? Quiet. That's Marcy. Christina. She used to be... Yeah, Christina's an elf. Used to be a guard. Because she used to work with Julian. No, she doesn't. Runs a flower shop. Loves flower language. There we go. Dating Marcy. Has lots of scars from her time as a guard. Very feminine. Trying to think, anything else? Anything else? Nope, nope, I think it's good. Patrick Griffin. He is something. Pretty sure she's an elf as well. Because elves typically are guards because they're not delicate or soft. They're more well built. Natural muscles with their genetics. That's, if somebody starts arguing, that's not how elves are, Sky, fuck off. This is my world. That's how elves are in my world. That's why they're typically guards. So yeah, Patrick is a guard. Guard to Ellie. 2 sisters that he loves. But pretty sure they're younger as well. Yeah, they are, because he relates to Ellie about her sister. 2 younger sisters, and there's so much more to you, my guy. Awkward. Awkward. A himbo, for sure. Struggles with words. Likes Ellie. He has a crush on her, but Ellie has kind of... Ellie doesn't know if she wants to or not yet. Anything else? I'm sure there is, but I'm getting super tired, so... Let's see, how many more are you? There's a ton more. This is the largest category, I believe, so not that surprised. So I will work on this later, in my own time, or on stream again. Yeah. Anyway, let me... I'm not here. I'm not here, chat. What do I do? Anyway, we're gonna pretend the fox is me. Hi. As well, good night, chat. I'm too tired to continue on. But this is really fun to explain a bunch of things, to talk about it, and work on some notes that I would have otherwise done alone. It was nice. It was nice. Hopefully I'm just a chair right now. Which kinda sucks, but it's okay. How I hope you all have a good night, good day, good time zone. I will see you all tomorrow or Friday, depending if I'm awake enough to stream. So see you all then. Good night. And bye bye, I suppose.